All right. Pum pum pum. Hello, everybody. Once again, thanks everyone for joining. We are just setting up, so give us a few minutes. We're going to be starting in just a few minutes, about 3-5 minutes. So please gather, get yourself comfortable, get some water, get some popcorn, and put your resume in front of you, I suppose, because there are going to be a lot of interesting lessons that you guys will be able to take away from it. Okay.
Everyone to resume a few minutes, set everything up. Let me actually show everything.
Okay, I think Chong, I think I was able to get your audio into OBS, but I think not in every single channel. So 1 second, give me a moment.
Okay, let me.
I still need to do that. Discord is here. How do I get this? Oops. Wrong button. I think it's is it live on Twitter already? Okay, perfect. I think that then there is no need for additional tweet. I think there are 7 people are watching already on Twitter. On LinkedIn, I think it's pretty massive. I think 83 people on LinkedIn. Yeah, I'll try not to keep track of the numbers. I think you can do that better than I can. In the meantime, I will make sure that I think Telegram is the next platform that I want to make sure to get started on. And I'll make sure that we are good. 1 second. A video capture device. Yeah, thanks once again for joining, everyone. We are doing this for the second time, so please be forgiving. We are still kind of collecting feedback, improving what's the best way to do it, and it's the first time for us to stream across all platforms. The first time we did it only on Discord. So
Yep.
a bunch of people on Discord. Boom. Okay.
Yeah, we just need Telegram. That's the last one.
Telegram, it says it starts in 10 seconds. 11, 12. Oh, late by. How do I?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
is it live
So
on
you just
Telegram?
yeah, I just initiated.
I'm not sure if it's showing the video though. Is it showing the video?
Nope.
Cancel. How do I do this? How do we make sure that Telegram works?
You have to share screen there. There's like 3 dots and it says.
No, I think it's not about the live stream. Where's
there's a lot of views.
Undefined and video chat for participants. Again, please be patient with us. We're setting this up. Live stream. There was a way just now to noise suppression. Portrait landscape, include video, start recording, title, end video chat. I think I'll have to end video chat first on live stream. Live stream. Here we go.
Stream with. It's yep.
Okay, I'll start streaming.
Stream started.
There we go.
Okay,
perfect.
I think
we're live on.
Yeah, we're live. We're.
Okay, a little bit of echo on my end.
And I can hear myself, so that's good. All right. Let's get the first start.
How do I fix this? Yeah, I think we're. Let me double check in this view. Hello, everybody. Thanks for your patience. I still making sure that every single scene in our IBS is working, functional. Discord. Let me do this. Okay, there's a bunch of people in Discord now. I think Chong should be audible on every single channel here. All right, yep. We have awesome. I think we're ready. I think we're good to go. We have audience everywhere. We have people everywhere. And here's a really quick preview of what we are to expect. We got some resumes lined up that we're going to be reviewing today. But first, let's maybe do a quick reminder about who we are and what we are up to. And Chong, you can feel free to go ahead and remind people what we're about and what's going to be happening.
Hell yeah. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Guys, thank you for being here. This is the second edition of Resume Review Live. Basically, we are Crypto Jobs List. You guys probably know us. We are a crypto job board, the biggest one. And we have decided to help you guys out for free because we often see a lot of small mistakes in resumes that can be, can kind of cripple the experience. For example, I don't know if you guys know, but only about 3% of resumes make it to an interview, right? So, and these small mistakes are something, it's hard to know, right? So Raman, since he's an expert, he's going to be helping you guys to see what are the most common mistakes. So we chose 10 resumes to review for the moment, maybe more depending time.
I think I realized we have only 9 lined up in Figma, but I think in the meantime, if you can drop one more towards the end of it on the right side, that'd be good. But I think even with 9 resumes, we're going to cover a lot of ground. I think one reminder is that, first of all, we realized a lot of people submitted their resumes, so we're completely overwhelmed with the number of them. And really, I think it's a show of how in demand this is, and hopefully that we are providing some value to you guys and some good feedback about, how you can improve your resume. And again, if your resume is not featured today, don't be don't stress, don't be please upset, because there is still a lot of things to learn even from these resumes. Usually resumes, they look alike and there's a lot of patterns, and you probably will see some things that maybe you are doing wrong in your own resume. So please stick around regardless whether you were kind of already noticing your resume or not. If your resume is not being reviewed in today, still you can still submit it for the next reviews, and we will try review them. We try to pick some resumes that are great, some so not so great, some in between. So it's a kind of pleasant learning experience for everyone. So you can see both mistakes and successes. But again, we cannot really guarantee that we will review every single one of them. So like, you just submit it. The way to submit it is you need to go to cryptojobslist.com/resume-review. Again, we're just experimenting with that landing page. We're going to share it again in our Discord and in our Twitter. So stick around and, put some effort into finding the link for now. Later on, we'll make it a bit easier to submit. Was that a good introduction, Chung?
Yeah, 100%. I think everyone's clear about it. Guys, don't be afraid to ask questions. I will be taking note of them, and we will be, answering them between every resume, review. Every time Ramon finishes reviewing a resume, you guys can ask us some questions, and we will gladly give you guys some solutions.
Okay. I think we're good to go. So hope everyone can see my screen, and here we have some resumes lined up. I'll just start from left to right and particular order. I didn't even have much time to look at them yet. We just made sure that some of the private contactable information is kind of hidden, so it's not too crazy for, I don't know, if someone wants to DM or spam you guys. So hopefully it kind of preserves some privacy, but at the same time, when your people are submitting resumes, they are aware that they're going to be displayed publicly, so everything is kind of consensual. 1 second. Okay, let's go. I'll just gonna go ahead and start with this one. Okay, so we have a resume. It's a 1 page. And hold up, I need to also set a timer. I keep forgetting because otherwise I'll keep on going and rambling. I also want to set a timer on my phone. Okay, five minutes per resume. Maybe we'll get plus minus a minute. Anyway, so one thing that I would say, good point is that it's a 1 pager, so that's great. On the downsides, another thing to note is that there's a huge image. We covered up the face for privacy reasons. Typically, I don't recommend adding a profile picture, or if you're adding a profile picture for whatever reason, make sure you're smiling. I think the gentleman on this picture, he was not very smiling. So you want to make sure that, again, ideally you do not want to put your profile picture on the resume, but if you really must do that, if you really still feel that you have a great personality, I don't know, maybe applying for some job that is sales or community management, you want to display some of your personality, make sure you smile. All right, you're smiling. Some people are self-conscious, but still smile. Smiling is key to success. Okay, so let's do some reading. If I were a recruiter who looks through resumes and kind of analyzes them, someone applied for position. Community manager with 2 years of experience in top crypto projects, familiar with blockchain and crypto, have good experience with Telegram and Discord community management, have some skills of banner and logo designing. Okay, so the intro is this is pretty good. It's kind of the called executive summary, so that I, as a hiring manager, can understand what is this person looking for. What are they interested in their career? Where are they trying to get hired? Okay, so a little bit of English issues here. I'm right away noticing that designing with logo design. That's probably what you want to say. And another problem here, I'm noticing that there are some inconsistencies. There is no space here. And again, some people might think of, why spaces are important. Why is it important is it's important that you are showing attention to detail and that you're consistent. If you cannot nail your resume with with grammar and with pretty much structure of it, then companies will make certain decision that, okay, you're probably not qualified for a certain high responsibility, high paying job. Okay. 1 second. How do I? Okay. So languages, this is pretty good. Listing 3 languages that the person speaks and experiences and content details here. Package portal, a role community manager, period February to role community manager, function community manager. Okay, so at least 3 experiences, that's pretty good. I wish it had some information about what exactly the person did and what they achieved during in that position. Also known as protocol instead of protocol, so it's misspelled. February is to April. I think the date is good. I think it's good that the person mentions, Gullzaib mentions the dates of his employment, but it's not enough. You want to display exactly what you've done in that specific role. What have you accomplished? You want to share some numbers. Google Digital Garage would be nice to have a link to it, because I have no idea what Google Digital Garage is, whether it was hard, whether it was easy, was it an exclusive program or not, so it's not very clear. What else? Good that the person has Gullzaib, sorry if I'm butchering any of the names, has links to his online presence, but I think they were not even linked. They were not linked at all, and I think it's very good to link your profile so that people can easily click on them. So that's a point there. I think overall I would rate this as, how do I zoom back in? I would rate this as perhaps 6 or 5 out of 10. Unfortunately, so there is definitely some experiences, but they need to be expanded. I think a lot of people do not have a lot of experiences in their background, but it can also be fixed by kind of expanding it a bit further. How much time do we have left? Any questions in the audience so far?
Nope. Let me see. Here, no.
We have, I think, another 15 seconds or something like this on this resume. So if people can share their thoughts, that would be amazing. Or thoughts or comments. What do you think, Chong? Did I miss anything? Do you think 5 minutes? Do you think I missed something? Should something be mentioned there?
Well, I personally don't love so much like color on resumes. I think it makes it a bit hard to read, like design, jump left to right. That's my personal preference. So if you can keep it even simpler, I think that's way better. And even with like the, with the image like being covered, you can still tell it's not a really professional image, right? Like, what is my guy, like a car or something?
Yeah, he's in a car. He's, I don't know, in a way somewhere. So.
Yep. Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah, I think also what's kind of lacking sometimes is where the person is based. That's a useful piece of information. Okay, shall we move to the next one? How is the audience feeling? Let me double check everything. We're gonna like do again a bunch of not resumes, but a bunch of views that are, what is this? Did my Discord just crash? I think my Discord crashed. 1 second. Let me make sure that everyone's getting the stream. If it's not on Discord, is everyone okay? I think. What are people saying? That it's not link icons. Oh, so linking the icons themselves? I think if you make them clickable, that is definitely useful. So you want to specifically claim what's the URL of your, or the handle on Twitter or on Discord, and you want to make it in plain text. But you should make it a clickable option. But again, people, I think in a crypto space, they would be very cautious of clicking links. So you want to spell it out exactly what is that, where that links direct. So like even if they're not comfortable clicking on it, they can easily select it and copy paste in their browser and go to your Twitter profile or find you easily on Discord. So make this information very clear, presentable, but also make it easy. If someone decides to click, they should be able to click and be directed directly to your LinkedIn or Twitter or Discord. But also have the ability to just write it out in plain text. Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, sorry. If there's, come again, if one page or it's always best to have one page resume. Yeah, we're gonna come to, unless you're like a PhD with with a lot of like credentials for a very senior role. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good one. Maybe we should build one. Or actually, I've been working on one in the past, resume.app, but we haven't promoted it enough. Maybe we need to promote it a bit more. But I think you can always start with just Google Doc, and or just Word doc, and make it. And we'll actually later on we'll show a few more templates that are really good. Okay, let me just like move on to the next resume, because I think this is going to be like forever if we're going to be asking or answering every single question. I think while reviewing the following resumes, people will notice what can be improved, or like a lot of these questions will be answered directly. Okay, let's go. This gentleman, another I would say like not the best resume. I think it's probably where do I start? So wow, first of all, like, okay, so like you need to realize that people do this. This is like 4 pages, and I right away see that if I just like glance at a high level at them, it's a little bit of they're not formatted really well, and there is an image, there is like colors, unreadable. But okay, let's give it an honest attempt at reviewing it. Okay, 5 minutes. Let's go. Maybe there is still substance in text. Maybe there is still some hope inside. So personal profile, I would say this is unnecessary skill, unnecessary title to be portrayed this way. Prosper, I think, is the gentleman's name. All the context that is useful, exact information. I think I don't remember exactly, but I think it was like the exact street address, etc., which I definitely do not recommend writing. Just it's enough to mention where you're based. All right. Okay. So personally, I'm a hardworking, motivated, enthusiastic community manager with a proven track record in the blockchain community, particularly in non-fungible token ecosystem. I always try to achieve the highest standard possible at any given task in any situation. And I'm accustomed to working in a challenging, fast-paced environment, particularly dealing with multiple projects and priorities at the same time. My sole aim is to build an excellent career in a reputable organization where I can deploy by the potential to help achieve the vision and mission. Okay, so the introduction is not too bad. Like I would rate this intro as like maybe 7-ish out of 10. I wish it could be more specific, even more specific, like what have you done in a brief summary. The length is all right, maybe like 1 sentence less, and being able to package more information about kind of what you've achieved, what you've done, what you're aiming at. But it's actually a pretty good start, I would say. Okay, then let's go to education. Some university, no mention about specific courses. That the courses would be great. To mention areas of expertise. It's interesting that like education, then area of expertise, other skills, than language, English intermediate. Interesting. Then software world, Excel. That's the only 2 software that the person, I mean, like if you have Word and Excel, I don't think it's worthwhile mentioning. And I think this software is not even relevant to the job. Like if you're a community moderator, you want to specify like, okay, I am advanced in Discord or Telegram, where I've been using these bots, or I've been engaging with certain community, or written certain article about community management. Okay, other skills, conversant with ecosystem, quality response time. Okay, this is actually good. Quality response time. This is what people would look for in a community manager. Can easily work under pressure. Discord developer. What does this mean? Does the person actually code? Write bots. Bot launch. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Time management. Areas of expertise. Okay, so like abstract things like time management is like abstract. Like how do you prove it? You don't prove it. You don't write it down in your resume. You actually just want to go and you want to go and like show us some other backing experience from the past where you've done something where like required advanced time management skills. Anyway, let's go next. 2018 to 2020. I'm just gonna do a quick overview of the experience. Okay. Sorry. My main thought right now when I'm looking through this resume is that the formatting is so bad. Like, no one's gonna be even reading it because, yeah, that's the reality. Usually, things like this, a lot of recruiters they just like put to they just discard it. That's the unfortunate reality. So if you just like brush it up and make it more presentable, that would already be a huge improvement. Insurance market, IMM, community manager, Telegram. Remote, protecting community from misinformation, relevant posts, moderating, post updates on Telegram channel, help new community members to navigate the ecosystem, assist users with the relevant questions in a short time frame. Would be good. So like when community management, I feel it's always good to show or the number of community members and how many other community managers were there working with you, so that the hiring manager or like a CEO of the company who wants to hire someone, they can get a grasp of like what's that scale that you worked with. That is definitely important. And so far, I don't see any numbers. Everything is just very like high level, right? So I think that's my main comment. And like never like 4 pages of resume, I've never seen that. Like even the most highly paid people, they're like not doing 4 pages unless you're, I don't know, like some PhD applying for doctorate. And even if you have 4 pages of legitimate information, you want to start by applying with like a short version, and then if you are asked to send a longer version. Okay. So I would rate this 3 or 4 out of 10, unfortunately. I think it's just the presentation is so terrible. Like it's all unnecessary. Like I feel like sometimes people put effort that is not even necessary to be put into the. What's your take, Chang? Yeah, and recruiters, and they have like a super high bar for talent. They want to have like the best of the best in their company. They would just, okay, this is not even worth reading. So and again, bear in mind we're starting off with like we're doing this at random, so the first few resumes are pretty a little bit hardcore, I would have to say. So don't be put off. We're gonna get to the good stuff. But again, I think my main point here, what I would like you guys to take away here is that views matter, or like looks matter, and it needs to be just simple and professional. Don't like do too much to it. Like just have plain text. That will be already enough. And again, not a 4 pages. This is crazy. Are there any questions in the community that are new from the chat? Okay. I think the question is about whether in your experience you want to describe what were your responsibilities, what you've done. You want to be specific, and you want to show numbers. You want to show like what is that thing that accomplished, right? Have you been, how many hours a day were you working? What was your response time? I don't know, how many projects have you shipped? How many other people were in the same role with you? So you want to show like, what is that unique, or what is that you actually achieved, right? With numbers, or maybe you improved. I don't know, if you were in sales role, you want to specify what was your targets and did you exceed them, like on a broad $10,000 worth of sales in 2 days or something like this. So you want to find some numbers that are around your job, right, or around the role that you held. All right. Mm-hmm. No, LinkedIn. 1 second. Just say something. I see. I think people indeed cannot hear you. 1 second. Let me. Pum 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 pum. One second. Let me, in the meantime, try to. What's the question? Can they repeat the question? As opposed to what style? As opposed to. Right. So the thing is, like, it doesn't matter. I think a lot of people in crypto want to feel that, like, oh, we're different, but it's actually, that's an unfortunate reality. Like, in the end of the day, it's still a job, right? Like, you still need to be professional. You still need to be able to come into a job and like deliver what you're there for. It's like not the technology is a new paradigm, but the job is not a new paradigm. It's like you come to a company to get things done, to add them value, right? And like, you're not going to be adding value by walking around on your hands upside down unless you're in a circus, right? So like, I think, hold up. I think I'm multitasking. I'm trying to make sure that Discord works, but I did notice that Discord kind of died for some reason. I'm trying to understand what's going on. It's one second. Once.
Really good questions here, actually. Mm-hmm. Okay, can I ask?
Yeah, please.
Okay. How can you compress your experiences into a page if you have a lot to share in your resume?
You throw away stuff that is not relevant.
At all, I guess.
Okay, here we go. Sorry. On the good news, I managed to get. Can you say something in Discord once again, Chong?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I think people should be able to hear you in Discord now. Cam only. Okay, here we go. Sorry, everyone. We're working on this, and we're going to be improving. It's going to be getting any better. I think like once again, if you have a lot to share, you have to prioritize. You should modify your resume to each position and make sure, or like at least they have the most for the type of position you want to be getting, right? If you want to be a community manager or writer, you don't share that you've been a waiter in a restaurant, right? Like even if you had to and you learned a lot through it, no one cares. Maybe in the beginning of your career, you might want to mention that you did these extracurricular activities, that you were like a hustler, you did this job because you had to, and how much you learned, right? As long as you learn something from the job, that's what is important, right? But just having a lot to share, like, yeah, I have a lot of years in my life, but like it's it's not what recruiters want to see. The purpose of the resume is to get an interview with the company so that they can hire you for the job, right? So that they can hire you to fulfill certain role, to add value to the company. And they're comparing all the other resumes. Who is the best person for that specific job? Okay. All right. Shall we proceed to the next one? I think this one is. Or is there like an important question that I should be answering?
Well, it's really yes or no question. Should the space for image/picture be removed completely?
I would
say yes.
I would say yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Let's go.
I would say not to list your picture. Again, the only reason why you might want to have an image on your on your profile is if you're applying for something like, I don't know, sales, or like you're super charismatic, or you're I don't know, maybe an actor or something like this. But in crypto, I think maybe you're a videographer, or you're like an influencer. Otherwise there is no reason to have a picture. Like even in those cases, I don't think you should be putting your profile picture on the resume. There is no reason for that. Like no one wants to. In fact, a lot of recruiters, they do not want to. They do not want to make a judgment based on your face. Or quite often, if you're not smiling, and like so far, all the resumes that we received, majority of them, with very rare exceptions, those who have an image, they have like a super sad face in them, right? So like, for example, if even myself, like, you know, I can smile, right? But at the same time, like if I have a super serious, like bored face, like it just detracts people from like, okay, this guy is like depressed. Like, why would I be having a depressed person on my team? So all these impressions matter, and that's what are you trying to do, is like create a positive impression with your resume, but you also have to back it up. You want to be yourself, be that person who is positive, and you know, all of us are to some extent, and like you have to be if you want to be working in a team. But yeah, so like I would not, basically, long story short, I would not recommend putting a picture on the resume.
All right. Let's go for the next resume. You ready? Because if you don't have things to roast, because the guy is in the chat, he said like, "Oh, roast me." If you don't have things to roast, I will.
Okay, cool. All right. So next one. All right. So let's hold up 5 minutes. I'm setting a timer.
All right.
I should probably for the next video we'll do like some visual timer in the UI itself. There's a very good question about why recruiters want to see our faces by video call. We want to be serious. I'm tempted to answer this question right away since it's being asked before we move on to this resume. Sure. Why recruiters want to see your face by video call? There's a lot of reasons for that. Like, yeah, on the resume, face is not important. On the video call, you want to turn on the camera. The reason for that, they want to see that you're a real person, especially in crypto, especially in Web3, in blockchain tech. There are way too many scammers out there. There are people who like taking several jobs. You don't know. There's people who are misrepresenting themselves. If you are not willing to take a call with a video, it's a really bad red flag. Some companies, they will like, if you're not turning on the video camera, it's like, sorry, interview canceled. Next, that's it. And because like there is a lot of information that you can take away from just seeing the person talk. If they're positive, are they reading from the text all the time, or are they actually sharing their experience? So it's a very high channel of communication, like looking at the other person's face. Are they in a professional environment, right? Have they done calls before? Are they sitting in their bed? Are they like, are they working from their office? That all these things are super important, right? Like, did they prepare for a call? Like, if the person is not willing to do a call for, I don't think there was even a single role where it's an excuse not to be joining on a video call. it's super red flag for companies. Means the person is uncomfortable with video. You wanna you wanna be working with people. I've seen this sentiment where like people do not want to be like bothered. Like just give me a job and like don't talk to me. That's not a thing. Like you can perhaps go drive Uber or a cab, but if you want to work in crypto, or if you want to work in Web3 or any organization online and remotely, you're going to be working with other people. You're going to be working together with other human beings. They have feelings, they have emotions, they want to be trusted, they want to work with other smart individuals, they want to have a sense of camaraderie, right? Like they're already working with apps and apps are already replacing us. So like don't try to make apps even easier. Don't give them an easier job like replacing you as a talent, right? You want to be charismatic, you want to be well spoken, you want to know what you're talking about, right? And I think a lot of developers especially, they feel sometimes like, oh, I just want to be shipping code, which is true. It's right. Like you want to be shipping code, you want to be kind of productive, do what you want, but it's not an excuse like to never jump on a video call. Like it's you still want to. We're still people after all, right? Like it's a human relationship. That's not going away.
May I add something super quick?
Please. Mm-hmm.
All right. So another thing why like pictures and it's different than on the interviews, like when you first open a resume, there's something called biases, right? So for example, let's say Raman looks like someone who I didn't like. It looks like my ex-boyfriend or something, right? So you don't want that, right? You want them just to rate you based on your merits. And once you're in the interview, it's like you're already in the next step, right? So that's not really what matters anymore. So the impressions first can lead to unwanted biases, and then in the interview, it's like you're already there. So it is what it is, right? Does that make sense?
I think it's a very good point that you just made about biases. I think that's like the prime, and I think the main bias is like if the person is not smiling, the instant bias is like, okay, this person is sad. We do not want to have a sad person
exactly.
Anyway, I think I had this resume on display for like a few minutes now, so let's finally get to it and review it. Okay, my timer is 5 minutes. Let's go. All right, so. What do we have here? So first of all, one page, amazing. I like that. So if I were a recruiter, I would go to the next stage, actually reading it. Camilo, the mind is like a parachute. It only works if it's opened. Einstein. Strong intro. That I mean, like it's kind of nice. It's pretty cool. A little bit quirky, but not bad. Okay, industrial designer. Link to Behance. Behance is a specialized site for graphic designers primarily, and a lot of people have their portfolio. I think at some time it was even invite only. I'm not sure about now, but it's kind of like a signal that, okay, this person is probably a designer. I don't know whether industrial designers are there on Behance, but so far so good. It's positive. I'm like, it's good. Thumbs up so far, right? The only thing, speaking about the header, is like here under this gray area, it's actually a birth date, like the date and the actual month and the location of the birthplace, which is a bit weird actually. So I would be it's like why I don't need that information. Like I don't care. Recruiter or like most recruiters, they don't care what your age is, especially in tech, in crypto. Like what they care about is your experience. Are you good? Whether you're 16, 18, 20, 50, like as long as you're sharp, it almost doesn't matter. And of course, there are also biases there. Like if people see your age, that but you're smarter than your age, that is people will have a bias, right? So it will, some recruiters will be like, okay, this person is too old. They will just assume, or like this person is too young, and might not be. Their perception will be skewed. Anyway. So don't list your age on your resume and your birthplace. Anyway, okay, let's go. Profile. Curious since I was a child. Creative since since always. Okay, that's funny. I am passionate about learning, problem solving, and developing ideas with attention to the smallest details. Since 2016, in the block-chain, whatever that is, and cryptocurrency industry has been my passion. Investing on it and learning about it has opened my mind to a lot of possibilities for a better future that it could build by using this technology. Interesting. So first time I'm seeing the person is actually mentioning something that is like blockchain related, that it just clearly shows that they're into crypto. So that is kind of good, that they're like, it's clear that this person wants to work in the industry, and you actually want to mention something like this in your resume. But I think the problem here is like, it's not very clear what this person wants to achieve. Like, do they want to be a UI designer? Do they want to be like a, I don't know, product designer? What's their goal? What's their goal in professional life? So in the profile, in the preview, you want to describe what's your current role, and where, maybe a brief about your previous roles and where you had it. So like even this resume is more clear, like, okay, hard work. Again, I really discourage you putting like abstract words like hardworking and stuff, but the community manager, I understand this guy's a community manager and he probably wants to be a community manager. Here I understand, like, okay, again, a community manager, some skills of banner and logo designing, right? Design. That's also kind of gives me understanding where the person is and where they're going, right? So that's what I want to, as a headhunter, or as a recruiter, here, right? So here it's not very clear where they're going towards, what they want to be doing with their life, or what kind of role are they seeking in my company. And also it's kind of clear that the person is not a native speaker, but that is not a huge problem. Like, I myself not a native speaker. A lot of people who work in the industry, they're not native speakers. That's not a sign of intelligence. Other things are a sign of intelligence or experience, right? Okay, let's go work experience. So hold up, or maybe languages. I think languages take a lot of attention, because that kind of draws just visually. It looks more, it's just bigger visually. It's just colorful. I would not probably do that. Espanol, English, French, and Portuguese. Unless I was a translator, I would not make it so prominent, because, like, I mean, knowing multiple languages is great, but drags too much attention. Work experience. Hackers, founders, volunteer designer, redesigned the company's webpage and future social platform. Good. Freelance, digital content creation, web development, content creation, new commerce. Founder, digital marketing product. Okay, that was 5 minutes. Okay, I think I need to extend a bit more. Let's do another 5. Group junior designer skills. So I think, okay, so it's kind of nice that, maybe not so nice. I mean, I'm just trying to understand the layout. I see the idea of like putting when they started and whether they like when they finished work in this company, but you want to be like, ideally want to mention month, like which month, like May to January, whatever. Okay, and then I think dash is not really relevant here, so you would just want to like align it. It's already like it's already bold, so I can like easier to read. I mean, like, again, like the way this structured is actually not too terrible. It's like maybe 6 or 7 out of 10, this structure. But I would just make it a bit more traditional. Anyway, it's good that he mentions what exactly he accomplished in that specific role. But it would be good to mention exactly what's maybe how long they worked there, because like 2023 today, like from January 2023, has it been like a few months? Has it been longer than that? Like it's not very clear. Freelance, digital content creation, web development, content creation, product photography, SEO and ads. SEO is kind of different from graphic design, so it kind of like doesn't make sense. Well, I don't know, maybe some people are good at combining a few of these things. Digital marketing, SEO, product development, group. So again, like, even though I'm reading all this like work experience, and because the profile doesn't mention what the person wants to be doing, like industrial designer is not, like, there's no place for it. Like industrial design is, you know, building buildings, I suppose, or like some products, physical objects.
Yeah, like objects, yes.
Yeah, so like I'm a bit confused where the person is like headed with their career. Do they want to be a graphic designer? Do they want to be UI designer? Do they want to be like a product manager? Or do they want to be working in content? Because it does specify, like it does mention like they've done SEO and ads, some marketing experience, but they're a designer. So like, is he a marketing person? Okay, anyway, so that's confusing. And this is the thought process that would happen in the mind of a recruiter if he decides to spend any time on your resume, right? So yeah, so pay attention to all these comments. Skills: Photoshop, Illustrator, Blender. Did you want to say something, Chung?
Oh yeah, I want to roast this guy actually. Okay, but
yeah, go ahead. Go on.
Finish. Okay, so my man docs literally himself and everyone he knows, right? Like in the contact section, there's like people being doxxed for no reason, and that's my main concern, right? Because a lot of you guys don't realize resumes can end up in pretty weird places, right? So you don't want to put your personal information, and you don't want to put everyone's personal information. Yeah, and the other thing is,
are you talking about references?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I think there were, in references like the CEO of some company, telephone number. That's like a little bit, I mean, if the person did actually go and ask for references and like, may I put that information in my resume? But I would not do that. Like, just have a one sentence references available on request.
Yeah. And the other thing is, okay, you have soft skills on skills, which soft skills suck. You don't want them in your resume. and you have them rated with like bars, which also makes no sense. And you have office there as well. So no. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah. I mean, I personally have like, creativity. Some of these things you cannot prove them unless you have like a sentence explaining what exactly you've done, what was the challenge, and what was your creative solution. And then the reader can make a judgment by themselves, like, was it actually creative or not? But if you're self-evaluating that, oh, I'm creative 5-star or I'm leadership 5-star, like so for leadership, it's a different conversation, right? If you say that you're like experienced with leadership, you want to specify exactly how many people were there under your management, how many people were you led, right? That's leadership. And like, what situations did you resolve? How did you solve like conflict in the organization? How did you hire other people? What's your judgment around, again, like organization and skill and working with the team, basically, right? Anyway, yeah. I think we already spent more time on this than we should have. Final thoughts. Yeah. I would say I would rate this as, I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh, but interestingly enough, I don't know, like maybe 5 or 6. Even though right. What would you rate, Chung?
Me personally, like a 3, because it's too much. It's too much. Yeah, it's everywhere. I'm so kind. It's all over the place. Yeah, you're pretty kind.
I'm too kind. No, I think what I'm trying to say is like the template is better than what we saw so far. And the person actually seemed to had they kind of experienced. It seems like they're more experienced with these guys. But I think Mr. Camilo, or Mrs. I don't even know. I think you're Mr. But gender doesn't matter.
It's Mr.
Right? Mr. But yeah, I think like recruiters don't care about that. I think he got my attention in the beginning, but then profiles should be improved with like more specific. What are they looking for? Where are they at? What kind of roles they're looking for, right? Instead of, don't make the recruiter think, like you already explain why they're a great match for a certain role, right? They studied, yeah, that's good. So yeah, I would, maybe 4 or 5 is accurate, but I mean, it has potential. Easy, like just rewriting the profile here. I would keep the format. Format is not completely terrible. I would still make it a bit better. I would remove like soft skills. Study is fine. Not study, education. You don't want to write study. Education. Education is the word. And again, latest at the top, oldest at the bottom. So, and here it's kind of the other way around. Okay. Next, or are there some questions? Hello? I think Chong left
The languages look
angry.
angry.
No, here you go. You're back.
Oh.
Come again?
Oh yeah, it's just a funny comment. Someone said, "Yeah, angry. The languages look like angry profile pictures." It's kind of funny because they're like too big, too aggressive. So yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so the rest is just people asking how can they submit their resumes. So let's make clear, guys, we are packed for the night, but you guys can try for the next one.
Yeah, we will. Please make sure to follow us on all channels, on Twitter, and on subscribe to our newsletter. And there we will keep you guys updated how to get your resume or apply to get reviewed. Again, we do not guarantee everyone. We take a bunch of resumes that we receive, and then we pick the ones that we find interesting, or they can display a range of different issues with the resume, so we can actually commend, and so that a bunch of people can, like all you guys, can learn during the stream, right?
Okay, some people are complaining about that we're taking too much time, so maybe we should just stick to the 5 minutes.
Okay, cool. All right, next one. 5 minutes. Next one. Okay, 5 minutes. Let's go. Next one. Chorib. Okay, let's go. 2 pages. Just like a quick overview. A lot of text that I think that kind of triggers my interest. It's structured pretty well. That's the benefit of, the good part. Structured pretty well, it seems like it. Yeah, worthwhile reading further. Sorry. My name is Ruben, but I have a highly motivated and result-driven individual with a passion for achieving success in all my endeavors. I'm known to my relentless work ethic and commitment to achieving consistent understanding. Facing challenges of diversity. I consistently seeking new challenge. So this is okay. I cannot finish reading this, but basically this lacks. What is that specific? What's the title of your, like, are you a developer? Are you a community manager? Are you a graphic designer? Are you a content writer? Like, what is that one? Of course, all of us are individuals. We have a bunch of things, in our lives, but professionally, what are you focusing on, right? Like, what's your forte, core skill, core like direction, right? Are you a marketeer? Are you a YouTuber or something, right? So that is lacking. People talk too much about soft skills. Leadership, communication, problem solving, time management. No one cares about these things, or like you cannot prove it on your resume. It's not triggers. Like everyone writes this. Like don't write this on your resume. Do not write this on your resume. Hard skills, budget management. If you're a CFO, maybe, or like if you're some like financial planning or accountant, maybe, but you want to be specific. Project. A bit cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. Okay, this is now I am getting a sense that it's just like a bunch of copy paste of words, unfortunately. So it kind of feels diluted. So I'm kind of losing interest in reading further a little bit. Okay, language is good. English and Bahasa. Certifications. Okay, this is actually pretty good. Google project management course, JavaScript algorithm, interesting. On Freecode Camp, English certificate. Okay, this is useful. The person is actually doing some education. Bali mathematics education, 2011, 2015. Okay, so probably they graduated recently-ish. Volunteering. Anyway, let's scroll back up. Work experience. I kind of like that. It's like a bunch of work experience. Let's see if it actually useful. Sorry, the resolution is a little bit low. I think we did a bad job at doing screenshot, Mr. Chung. Anyway, we need to do a better job. Or maybe was it submitted this way with the low resolution slated?
Yeah, I just put it into PNG, and so it was PDF. So I'm not really sure why. I think maybe the letters is too much text. I don't know.
I see. Okay. Anyway, yeah, hopefully, I think it was higher quality. Anyway, project manager, C Fund Asia, Jakarta, 2020-23, define project scope and objectives. Client stakeholders define the project scope and objectives, establish the goals and outcomes for the project, develop and maintain project schedule. Project resources, including budget and stuff. Well, it's a lot. Develop and maintain project schedule, coordinate with team members and stakeholders, liaise with them, manage project resources, including budget and stuff, track progress and provide regular updates to stakeholders. Wow, so it's basically a list of every single thing that the person does. So this is interesting because it's the opposite extreme what we've seen so far. They listed every single thing that they done on the job. And I suppose everything there is the same. Demonstrate experience in implementing various DeFi protocols and platforms such as lending and borrowing, stablecoins, and decentralized exchanges. Analyze, was the person technical there? I don't understand. A team manager. Okay, so I think without reading further, I feel this is not great because they want to be specific about what they actually done on the job. I mean, shorter, concise, what you achieved, what were your KPIs, what are some metrics that you were supposed to be following. Yeah, I think it's the rest of the resume is just going to be like the same. I think I'm kind of done. I would rate this as the template is 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. The content is actually worse than it looks.
Yeah. And if you take a deep look, grammar is really crippling. And I know not everyone is native, but you guys, there's a lot of tools to make sure your grammar is a bit better because it's really bad. Okay, cool.
Next or other
okay,
questions?
No, some guy's just salty because he's not getting his resume, so I'm just gonna ban him.
Yeah, if you guys misbehave in chat, you're gonna get banned. That's the reality of it. So don't promote your stuff in the resume if you don't want to get banned. All right, next up, Mr. Mrs. Xavier. How many pages? So 1 page. Okay, I'm excited. Whoa. How do I zoom in? All right, are you ready?
Yep.
5 minutes, counting. All right, so high level, I think resume looks pretty all right. So I'm kind of interested to dive in deeper and see Xavier, creative and passionate developer. Okay, here we go. I understand whom am I dealing with? Creative and passionate developer. I like it. Email, location, I think it was just CD and country, which is good, and Skype. Not sure who uses Skype, but it's okay, not too bad. Innovative and creative thinker who craves a challenge and who is not afraid to work outside his comfort zone. An excellent team player as well as individual contributor. My strong organizational skills and ability to prioritize multiple tasks at once ensure that I meet tight deadlines even when working on repetitive tasks or projects. An excellent communicator with exceptional interpersonal skills, having an ability to communicate professionally. Okay. Yeah, maybe 6 out of 10. Maybe I think I'm already understanding who the person is, the creative and passionate developer, but not very clear. I think here it gets a bit more clear. They're JavaScript kind of TypeScript person node. This abstract, I would improve it significantly by specifying how many years of experience you have and what are you looking for. Specifying what are you looking for, what projects, maybe a brief about the projects you worked. Length can be shorter. And just in a few sentences saying I'm a creative developer, I'm a developer who worked on back-end and front-end projects. And I'm looking for a full stack development role in crypto and Web3. Specifying what you're looking for is important. So in the top, I would mention who you are, and Xavier is already doing that, creative and passionate developer. I would be even more specific if you can be developer. Are you Python? Are you TypeScript, JavaScript? And even here, it doesn't even unless you look at the skills, it's not immediately clear from just this line that it's he's an engineer, a software engineer, right? Anyway, So here I would improve things like what are you looking for? Be more specific. All right, work experience. Kind of hard to read because like this drags too much attention. Like this is too much. This is unnecessary. Like too much attention. But okay, let's. This is dragging more attention, so I'll read it first. React View Angular 5-star. React View Angular 5-star. I think they're like as someone who's in kind of front end developer background, I'm a software engineer and like I write code and write TypeScript. These camps are kind of like fighting camps. Like people either do one of these things, either React, Vue, or Angular. It's very rare where they're like super proficient at every one of them. And people are usually opinionated. Like if I write React, I'm gonna be hating on Angular and maybe Vue. If I write Vue, I'll definitely gonna be hating on the React community and on Angular community. If I'm Angular, I don't even know. I probably don't exist. I hate my life. I'm definitely looking for a job for using React. Okay, so a bunch of other tech, 3JS, Web, Blender, Tailwind, Bootstrap, CSS3. Tailwind is the hype. That's good. PHP, Node.js, Express, Mongo, MySQL, Postgres, Django, Flask, Solidity, React Native, Dart, Flutter, Jira, Docker. Those are like not even the same category. Like Jira is task management, project management. Like Docker is virtualization, like technology. They're like, it's like eggs and butterflies. They're different things. Anyway, I would remove this. Anyway, back to work experience. Full stack blockchain developer, Hubble project, not Humble project, United States, achievement tasks. So like, okay, this thing, achievement tasks, I would remove this because it's obvious. That's what it should be. Contributed to brainstorm idea and build MVP for investment. Okay. Launch Hubble protocol, main web page, user management, and Rust, where responsibilities for connecting to Phantom Ledger Soylent. Okay, implement the borrow, swap, letterboard sets. Okay. Leader development of information, contribute to commerce marketplace for commercial companies for food delivery restaurants and real estates, build company business system for various purposes like lending. Well, so these accomplishments they've done is actually pretty good. Contributed to developing. I think for a dev, this is not too bad. Links to some projects, which is good. I think having a link to the actual code base that they built would be super useful. Okay, 5 minutes, 1 more minute would have been super useful. Languages: English, Chinese. Interest: writing, learning new pro. What is this? Learning new pro. I don't even know that. Volleyball. Okay, this makes sense. Education: Singapore University of Technology and Design, SCTD. The road is not necessary, just the name of the university. What courses were taken that would be useful? Is it bachelor? Okay, bachelor's degree in computer science, 2016. Yeah, having more links. I think for developers, a link to GitHub is a must. If you don't have GitHub as a dev, like good luck. Especially if you experience dev like this guy, what seems to be link to GitHub is pretty important. Yeah, again.
Let me check if he didn't have a link because these are PNGs, not PDFs.
No, but where would the link be? Like even we only kind of cover these these 4 spots, and like this is the last name, this is like the email, this is like location and Skype. There is no place for GitHub link. So have a GitHub link. I would say, I mean, the resume, it's like, I'm not going to be talking about kind of his skills here because like I have never met a guy. I don't know. But just the resume itself, I would probably rate it like 7 out of 10. Maybe I would. I feel like I would be like on the edge. Should I just jump on the call with the guy or not? Like I don't think I would be. I don't think.
Yeah, I agree.
Like he seems to be like it's a dev, so it's pretty good. Like it's clear. There is nothing that like is super exciting that shows like, okay, this guy is like mind blowing. He's looking for like this super enthusiastic developer who's kind of really wants to work in crypto. I think the introduction would have helped if like they were more specific about what they're looking for. What's their ambition in them? Like what are they passionate about, right? Like do they want to be writing more Web3 code? Do they want to be writing more Solidity? Do they want to like not write PHP? Like what's that opinion that they have that they want to kind of bring into the next job that they're working in? Again, links would have been useful, like URLs. Link to GitHub would have been useful. Yes, maybe I'll jump on the call, but I would keep my expectations low, to be honest. So for the resume itself, again, template is maybe 6 or 7 out of 10. I think the skills drags too much attention. Could be simplified. Overall, maybe also like 6 or 7.
Yep. Oh, okay, we have a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Is it cool to add links to your work experiences as community manager? Actually, that's pretty interesting.
I think it's okay to add links to like the projects themselves. Like just spell out the URL of the community of like just the website itself. Spell it out and link it. So if person doesn't want to click on the link specifically, they can just like copy the domain name and like, for example, here, I'm not sure if it was linked or not, but like tracked profile web.app, I would have like just selected the text and copy pasted it into the browser to make sure things are safe and it doesn't direct me somewhere else. There is no like click tracking going on. So I think it's cool. I would the most important thing for community managers, I would say, is to mention the size of the community, be specific. What are they about? Like what is that project? What does the project does? What do they do? Size of that community, and how many other community managers were there? What were some tasks that you had to do? What were the initiatives that you successfully kind of came up with and actually executed and succeeded at, right? So, yep, that's the answer. John, are you
right.
Okay.
Yep.
Next one.
Next one.
All right. Okay, 1 page. Okay, let me set the timer. 5 minutes. 1 page. All right. So I think we're getting more professional resumes now. So all right, 5 minutes. Counting down. All right, Sylvio, last name, country manager, knowing how to communicate, share a vision, make a larger number of people adhere, grow community, and strengthen brand image are the quantities that characterize me as a leader. Okay, education, experience, skills, language strength. So again, overall, the positive, like just my first impressions. This person has a professional image at the top, which is, and I don't remember whether he was smiling or not, but I think it was not bad. So if it's a professional image, professionally taken,
yes,
he was smiling. Okay, cool. So like, even it's a professional image, white background there. If you decide, if you're really proud of your like professional photography, or like your friend is professional photographer, it's cool. Like posting an image that is professional, it's acceptable-ish. But I would still like maybe in this case it would help the resume, right? In other cases, it's just risky. Yeah, I would just not do it. Anyway, experience. So okay, this sentence is just like it's a mind bend. Like, it's hard to read, and I did not get any useful information about this person from this sentence. It's just like written. If you plug it into a Hemingway app, it's just gonna be red. It's like passive voice, and not clear what does the person do. Too long. What are they looking for? So it's a little bit doesn't communicate the right thing. Community manager, I understand. Country manager. Okay, cool. Anyway, let's go next. Education. I think it's some French, I suppose, like I guess university or something. Bachelor's degree in marketing, master's in business administration. That's pretty good. Skills: digital marketing, business development, project management, fintech. Fintech is not a skill. It's like a area interest. Cryptocurrency, blockchain, customer relationship management. Okay, that's maybe like some experiences, like high level. Operations management, strong written and oral expression skills, excellent entrepreneurship. A lot of these things are not really skills. They're just like either areas or of interest, I suppose, or language. Okay, French native, English high level professional, strength, dynamic, creative, excellent team player, knack for coordination, enthusiastic. So again, I guess, I don't know. Like the only way to try this out is either put the guy for the test or, I would not write these kind of strengths myself because it doesn't communicate anything really, like zero information there. Okay, experience. Since December 2021. Okay, country manager, yellow card, Ivory Coast, establish and protect the company's ability to operate. Licensing. Oh wow. Okay. Wow. This is pretty big. Establish and protect the company's ability to operate. So he did the incorporation, I suppose, getting license, tax management. Okay, this is solid. Grow the business by recruiting, managing relationship with larger customers. In support of marketing, engage the mass market. Assist the executive team in executing operations strategy initiatives. Identify and implement new opportunities that grow a successful business. Assist with the recruiting. Okay, so just from this, this is actually pretty impressive. Like the person actually went out and incorporated a company for the client, right? And then did recruitment. So this experience tells me way more, if it's true, of course, and I still need to, if a recruiter were to jump on a call, they would be asking more questions about, go into details. What did you actually do there? Where are you doing it by yourself? Where are you doing it with other people? This tells much more information than this. From this kind of background, I can see okay, he is actually responsible, etc. But when you write out your strength like this, it carries zero information. I don't believe any single word here, right? I don't know. Anyway, experience. Anyway, so for this gentleman, I would probably remove this strength. It's for the recruiter to decide if this is the strength. I would just double down on describing the experience. Green finance director, green invest. Okay, 5 minutes. Gone. Maybe another 5 minutes maximum. Support for green SMEs to access finance. Work with financial institutions. Work on large project and ensure that deliverables are completed on time, managing partner relations. So this is very specific. I would capitalize SME. I think that's what he means, small, medium enterprises. To access finance. Yeah, very specific. I like this. This is pretty good. Next, consolidation reporting manager, financial product management, Western Union, production of annual financial analysis forecast. Okay. Responsible for the compliance of financial operations, tracking. This guy is pretty experienced. I'm just trying to scan through the resume again. Okay, back office assistant, financial analysis, market preview. Yeah, so this guy's pretty experienced, and he's in kind of finance background. He was able to incorporate, did some tax management, and I think in the beginning it's not very even clear. Okay, country manager kind of tells that the person is senior enough, but now you need to, with his resume, he needs to back up that claim that he's a country manager, because it's pretty senior role, quite experienced. You need to know a bunch and be it's a diverse set of skills to be a country manager for some company. But here it's not clear what role he's seeking. Does he want to be a country manager for some other company? Does he want to be it's not very clear what's that direction, what is his ambition in the career, right? So he's already experienced, quite senior. I would improve it by specifying what is he looking for, right? What type of company. Does he want to work in a startup? Does he want to work in an enterprise? Maybe it doesn't matter the size. Maybe he wants to work in a specific type of role or function. So specifying that is, I think, important. I think this area is kind of almost useless. I would make it horizontal and put it at the bottom and focusing on experiences, because experiences is what is impressive here. If I were not to read the right side and just read the left side, and somehow the text is even larger here. if I were to read this, I would think like, okay, just some random dude. If I were to read the right side, that's like, okay, this guy, I would actually jump on a call with him. Like, I would be interested to like how can he help crypto jobs grow? He seems to be like, established to protect company ability to operate, company registration, licensing, tax. Maybe I should hire him as an admin, but he should like improve, make more focus on this, on his background and experience rather than skills, right? And you guys who are listening, the same thing. Like, this is the key part here. Here's the juice. He has a lot of substance, this gentleman. He should be putting it as a forefront versus like some abstract words like skills, digital marketing. It doesn't mean anything. Fintech, like, doesn't mean anything. I can write any words on my resume, but this kind of stuff, like, it's very hard to make it up. Like, it's an actual experience, right? Strength, dynamic, creative. Like, every single other resume had something like this, where like project management, creativity. That's not creativity. Like, creativity is when you're like, I managed an ad for Apple. That's like mic drop. Okay, I want to hire this guy. Even if he worked like on one gig for Apple, like, I already know that the bar is pretty high there, and he was not fired in a week. That's already like a strong signal. But writing that you're like enthusiastic or creative, that is not impressive. Like, I can write those words 24/7, 365. Anyway, so I think because we're over time, the interesting part is that he has like a phone number and email at the bottom, which is kind of a little bit weird decision, but better there than nowhere. Yeah, if someone for whatever reason were to print this out, this will probably get a high chance of getting cut off. So you want to like mention the email and contact number at the very top, right next to, I don't know, maybe at the header here. And again, just to summarize, is that yeah, I guess the image in this, like, if it's a country manager, having a professional image that works for him. But again, I would probably advise against it. I would just like country manager and just use the language to prove your kind of experience and skills, and that you're seasoned and that you're right for the job you're applying for. Yeah, anything else to add, right. Chung?
No, not at all. Pretty good. Just let's make sure no more double 5 minutes. I think that's my main thing to say. Let's stick to 5 minutes, and if we can review
can we do it? Okay, I'll try this. 5 minutes. Wow, this is tough, guys. Thanks for.
Yeah, it is pretty tough.
Okay, let's go. 5 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Next one. Okay, 2 pages. Okay, so the first impression. Okay, minus point for 2 pages. Minus point for 2 pages. Enio, project manager, team leader, IT. Organized team leader builds positive. Organized team builds positive report, ensure trust, and guide teams towards the achievement of organizational goals. Strong facilitation and depth and work across department with co-management and top level leadership. Excellent trainer and mentor. Well, like, don't make the judgments like this about yourself. Excellent trainer and mentor. I'm the best of the best. Like, let the company make that judgment. Collaborative leader with, how many times the leader was mentioned? 1, 2. Okay, I'm getting a bad impression already. Team leader, again, transcend, fast-paced. Okay, so like this is pretty bad. Image is pretty bad. I think the quality was also pretty bad, and I don't remember he was smiling. It was like a little bit of a mugshot, like I'm admitted into prison. And then I think here, like, we covered only like the sensitive parts, but otherwise the icons were like really messed up and really low resolution. So which is like a really bad sign. I don't even know where he got this template or what happened on the way. Like, what is this white space? It's just some poor web design from 2000s. So not even 2000s, from 1990s. Web3 and NFT expert. Languages, bilingual, Greek, Spanish. Yeah, again, I think like just the interest, cybersecurity, cryptocurrency. I think just the inconsistent type and like all these like white space is already like a turn off, and like I already kind of having very low expectations from this resume, and like I'm not quite sure what is he applying for, what kind of roles he's going to be seeking, or what kind of roles. If I had a huge organization, I would not even know where to fit him, right? Like, do I, I don't know, admin, tech support, I don't know, team leader. Wow, a lot of team leadership. What does this mean? 36 agents handling exclusive clients to provide the best quality of internet connection, achieving for 2 years in relation best services in Italy, customer care. Interesting. Okay, so I guess the problem of communication here is that he's like Italian and maybe some of the maybe like language barrier or something. So he worked for like a ISP, which is like internet service provider, fast web, FTTH connections. What's providing FTTH connections? FTP connections, HTTP connections. What is this? Maybe it's some term that I do not know. Let's give it benefit of a doubt. Fastweb is fully owned by Swiss communication company Swisscom. Team leader solving more than 85% of problems. Some numbers here, which is not too bad. It's kind of a good thing to see numbers. Community. It's a good. Also, another positive here is that kind of a description of the company, but it could be more concise, without acronyms. Just like in one sentence, one line, explain what the company does. Is that a telecom? What's the industry? You don't have to go into like too much details explaining the company, but just like one sentence, what makes the company special, or what's the industry? Yes. Solving more than 85% of problem calls. Okay, it's good to see the numbers that he's been doing something, right? There, and like some measurements, some KPIs. Community coordinator internship 2021. Manager, wait, what? Internship and manager e-commerce? How does? Okay, so he did a sales manager and then he went to do an internship. Internship coordinator. Maybe he was coordinating internships. Doesn't? I think the English is kind of off here. Proactively identifying and implementing processes to improve workflow, organization, and communication. Okay. I think 30 seconds. I would give this. Maybe like 3 out of 10 or 4 out of 10. We kind of went from a good resume like this with a guy with experience with more or less layout. This was, by the way, is probably like 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. I'm not talking about experience. I'm talking about just the way it's presented, right? Maximum 8. I wouldn't. Yeah, it's not 8. It's 7. It's just slightly below being good. This is definitely 3 or 4. This is like 2-page. Not really necessary. A lot of these things could have been shortened. The good things here is that numbers are mentioned, like some budgets apparently mentioned, which is good. The formatting is really bad. It's really destroyed pretty much. Yeah. That's it. What are your thoughts? Okay, any comments?
No, the mock shots. Don't do mock shots. Don't do photos, and if you're gonna do them, don't. That's horrific, honestly. Mm-hmm. Okay, we have a question though. How can you prove to your recruiter that you've worked on a project after providing the link on your resume when you no longer work there? Don't you think people can just formulate links? I don't know what formulate. I think like make up links or something.
I see. It's a good question. I think like it makes me think that at Crypto Jobs List apparently we have like 140 people who claim that work for us, but we have like only two full-time people on the team, or 3 people in total. On LinkedIn there's like a 340, and I've been trying to delete them. So yeah, people can definitely a lot of time lie, and it's reasonable for recruiters to be like skeptical. So what you want to do is, again, really depends what kind of projects where you're working for, right? If it's just like a mega large community where you are, okay, let me bring it back. I think if you have to prove to someone that you worked somewhere, probably you haven't worked there, or you haven't been working there deep enough. If someone worked in some company, their manager or like the higher, the company would will find time to say like, hey, this person did actually work for me. So if a recruiter is asking, usually the way they would ask whether you work somewhere is like, can you give me references proving that you actually worked in that company, right? But it's I think if it got to a point where a recruiter is asking to prove that you work there, it looks that you probably you saying something in resume that is too good to be true, right? Like where you are based in some weird country and then your experiences don't add up and suddenly you work in Coinbase or in some other like NFT project. Or I think a lot of problems probably will be is like people claiming that they worked for some like NFT project with millions of people paying attention to it, and then you're like a community manager, you're claiming, or you've been promoted to community manager. You're not really working there. It's not really a work experience. It's more like a side gig, right? If you were part-time there, or if you were, you can mention if you're like a DAO contributor, if you actually been a contributor there, and like have links to the project page if you're on that team, or screenshots maybe from Discord, but make sure not to screenshot anything confidential, because like if for example someone applying to a job at Crypto Jobs, this or like with me for example, and someone sends me a screenshot of their like some private communication in the company just to prove that they work there, I'll be like, cool, thanks for proving that you work there, but it also shows that you do not respect your previous employer and you just let the confidential information leak. I would not want to onboard you on my team, and then once you start leaving and like and after once you start finished working with the company, I don't want you to be taking screenshots of confidential information or like some other confidential sensitive information and sharing it with your future employers. That's a super red flag, right?
So basically don't be sus and you'll be fine. And if they start questioning, it's because you're being sus and they probably don't believe you. So
any other questions? I see question. Hi, giving a phone number necessary. Is email not enough? I think I would recommend not mentioning your phone number. Just email is enough. A lot of people I'm noticing here there's like a phone number being mentioned. I would not do it. I'm not sure what it was even here. No, I think here's like location. Just mentioning a city and a country is sufficient. Phone number, I would probably not. I mean, like if you're based in US, I know in US everyone likes to call. Maybe there, sure, but in many other locations, I would not do. I would not leave a phone number.
All right.
Next, or are there more questions?
No, I don't see more questions. No, I don't see more questions here on Discord. Nor
next. 3, 2, 1, go. Calvin B. All right, one page. Okay, good sign. Fluent in Japan. Okay, I'll just gonna start from the top. What is it? I think this is a phone number and this is a mail. Okay, I like the simplicity already. Onboarded thousands of users into Web3, managed multiple crypto native communities, saved $70,000 sponsorship, and brought in over $30,000 revenue in 8 months by implementing a driven process improvements. Business developer with 6+ years of success creating and managing social media marketing campaigns and content that grows engagement. Manages the life cycle of projects in a fast-paced crypto startups, research analysis, impact on brand, go-to-market plan, social media campaign, track performance, and moderate as a community manager, expert in Web3, non-fungible tokens, and cryptographic assets. Fluent in Japanese. I think this is like 7 or 8 out of 10. I like that there are numbers. He saved money. It's very tangible. It's very easy to like understand. Okay, he has his metrics. 6 years. I feel like English could be, maybe this guy's even native English, but I think the sentence structure could be like simplified, made it more punchy, like more clear, because a lot of it like campaigns and content that grows engagement. I think sometimes it feels like he's trying to fit too much information into one. Another thing that's lacking here is what is he looking for? What kind of roles he's looking for. But I guess like maybe by reading the rest of the resume, it will be more clear what kind of roles he's a good fit for. Okay. So yeah, but overall it's like 7 or 8 out of 10. I like the numbers. I'm already kind of sold. Like Okay. Skeleton crew remote position. I would just write remote, not remote position. Skeleton crew, decentralized autonomous organization leader. Would be nice to know what exactly it's about, like maybe like a one-liner pitch of the project or like a URL. So I don't have to like copy paste and Google it. And even if I Google it, I don't know if it's going to be the number one result. So that's going to be a problem. Anyway, recruit over 70 artists in 2 weeks and manage them from a month-long virtual festival of NFT drops, Twitter Spaces, and community management. Okay, I'm just gonna stop here. This is what you want to have in your resume: numbers, time frame, what you've done. This is beautiful. This is like almost just this sentence, just this line is like almost 10 out of 10, maybe like 9 out of 10. Like recruit over 70 artists, very concrete, over 2 weeks. Like it would have been a different story if he'd done that like in 2 years, because like 70 artists in 2 years, I don't know if it's not as impressive like it's in 2 weeks. So he knows how to work effectively. That is like what 70 divided by 14. That is like 5 artists a day or something. I'm interested to talk to this guy. Work with partners, influencers, and the community to identify opportunities and collaborate on product or marketing opportunities. Engage user through campaigns on Discord and Twitter to grow community interest and impact. Creating disclosure demonstrating. Well, it was a strong start. Now I'm a little bit okay. It's a right. I mean, would it be nice how many partners, if he mentioned how many of them he worked with? Engage user, or like at least approximation. I know this maybe number is made up, but I would be like at least some sense of scale. Like how hard is he working? How effective is he? Right? Is this person create innovative technology? Okay. Holoplex Inc. Sounds familiar. Business developer. 2020 to manage the community Discord for creators. Okay. Organize events, gather feedback, collaboration. Excuse me, I haven't had enough coffee today. African. Okay. Yeah, like this is pretty good. Just like 3 experiences, mentioning a lot of numbers, how much money he saved. Fluent in Japanese in the beginning. I mean, like I'm not hiring for Japanese, but it's good to know. Like he's multilingual. This is a good resume. Leadership core competencies. Project management, community management, process optimization, blockchain, cryptocurrency, computer skills. I think, okay, so this is, I think off the top of my head, I would say it's like 7 or 8 out of 10. The only thing that is lacking here is like education. That would be nice to know. Even if he did not graduate from anywhere, I think it would be nice to, like, I don't know, college dropout, self-taught, something like this. Might be interesting to mention. Okay, this has been 5 minutes. Yeah, overall 8 out of 10.
Resume. Yeah, I love this resume.
Yeah. One thing that, again, like I think I mentioned some things that could be improved, but I really love the numbers. I really love the numbers and kind of accomplishments. And it's just 3. It's concrete. There is no graphic. There is no image. I like that the name is like in color, which is kind of, I mean, it's not important, but like it adds just a little bit of character, just a little bit, right? Like you don't need too much of it. Like you don't need to do what we've seen in the past with this, or like the ones that in the very beginning with, oh my god, this is just like all over the place. This template is all right, but just the substance is really bad. This is a bit too much attention. Where was it? Here we go. Yeah, this is pretty good. I would say like, yeah, 8 out of 10. Yeah, one thing that I would improve here is I would have added education. I'm not seeing where it is. Maybe I'm just missing it. I would not. Computer skills. Some of these I would remove. Figma, GitHub. Yeah, this is good to have these things. A little bit of them. But it feels like a little bit too many words here. Like it's not some basic. Or if you're basic at something, just mention like basic knowledge of. I think that's like shows that you're humble, that you're willing to learn, but you're not over presenting yourself like, oh, I'm a community manager, but also I'm like an expert in software engineering. That's kind of rare. You're probably like neither there nor here, or you're trying to, you're maybe too young and you're trying to figure out where to grow. which is kind of right. But yeah, anyway, just add where you studied. I would probably remove the horizontal lines and just make this, I don't know, professional experience. Yeah, horizontal lines are a little bit distracting, especially title is above and then horizontal line. This is professional experience. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, 7.5 to 8 out of 10.
7.5 it is then.
What would you say? How much? How would you rate it?
Yeah. I would say an 8 probably, because I just like how easy it is to read and how concrete it is, like with numbers mostly. Because that's definitely.
Do we answer some questions or do we go to the next?
Well, this one is similar, like someone asked before. Okay, this is a good question. It's really relevant to crypto. As a community manager, some projects last for 3 to 6 months. How can you pile work experience of this nature if you work for 3 years? I actually wonder that, because you do work in some projects and die like 2 months, and like, should you put that on your resume?
I would say, again, keep the resume to 1 page, and then put the emphasis, put the most projects you're most proud of in this format. Like, okay, I worked on this project for a period of time, and here are the things that I've done, some metrics, the size of the community, and then those projects that you also work for but that are not as important, you can write them in the bottom saying like, also work for these projects for like 3 months each, happy to share more upon, like, details available upon request. How would you do that, Chong?
How would I pile up experience?
Yeah,
I would pretty much be based on duration of the project. So I would put like the longest first, because in my personal opinion, if you see that someone doesn't last too much in jobs, it's usually a sign of trouble. But in this case, it's just because it's crypto, so probably your employer will understand. But I would still put like the projects that last more at the beginning.
Yeah, I would just emphasize there. I would rather put the most recent ones in the beginning, and hopefully that the most recent ones are the ones that are, high quality ones, right? That where you can have a few lines, like 3-4 lines, explaining what you actually done in the project, and the scale, and then maybe in comments, or like not in comments, like just in one line somewhere in the bottom, mention like also worked on these projects too. Shorter duration, or kind of like summarize it in one sentence, those that are not important, or completely remove them. Because I remember struggling, like when I was early in my own career, I was struggling with like, I've done all these small projects, and like they might be interesting, and I do not know whether recruiter is going to be interested in them or not. Like, should I share them? How can I all fit them into one resume? You need to like have a judgment to remove those that are not as important, is not as impressive. Not every, like, my experience from what I did in university no longer matters, for example, for me, or like some of my mini project that I did in between no longer matters. So you want to like find 3 to 5 most impressive things that you've done, and at least only them. If you've done 100 things, it's called spam. You're spamming your resume. You want to take your 100 things that you've done that you're excited about in your career, in your life, and shortlist 5, maximum 5, or like 3 to 5. Like, here's like just 3 of them, and it's already impressive. I'm willing to jump on a call with this guy.
I agree. That's a better approach, honestly.
Yeah. And someone else earlier asked about what to do with, like, I have too many things to share. Like, you curate them. You have a short list. Have a top 5. don't waste other people's time. Like they just want to understand your best achievements, right? I don't want to look at your drawings in kindergarten. That this is for your parents, for memories, right? Like this is not relevant to the job, but you want to look at your most relevant experiences. Okay, shall we go to next?
Yeah, I think so. That would be appropriate.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Arturo. Okay, 2 pages. Oh, okay, there is one more there. 2 pages. Okay, let's go. Arturo Q, Mexico, Gmail, LinkedIn. Okay, this is good. The beginning is good. I like that the contact and where he's based is at the very top. Phone number could be unnecessary, but it's fine. LinkedIn, I like that it's like spelled out and connected. Some icons, cool. Experiences right away, bam. Tech lead DevOps, Spectrum Effect Inc. March present, Monterrey, Mexico. Okay, cool. In charge of leading DevOps team of 5 members, client follow-up and technical support, internal cloud VM server management, public cloud and AWS and IKEAS, AC for environment creation and testing. This guy is he's a DevOps lead. He in charge of leading a DevOps team of 5. That's like probably the most important part. The most high skills, high experience, high level experience, client follow up and technical support. Interesting. So like not only he was internally facing and managing like a team of 5, but also he communicated with clients. So that's good. Internal cloud VM server management, hands-on, public cloud infrastructure providers management, EKS, for environment creation or testing. So yeah, he did a lot of things, right? So I like that it's specific what he has done, right? There are some numbers. So like one of the challenges probably for developers is that like maybe salespeople, they have like numbers like dollars to show. Developers in a lot of cases they do not have that. Sometimes you're like, oh, I saved the company $200 a month by killing the service, automating the service in 2 days or something like this, right? But you do not always have that to share. But just listing your technologies and talking about these technologies in a way where it like just looks like you know what you're talking about is good. So here I'm getting a positive impression from this guy. Lead test engineer, and yeah, it's good that he month of start and present location. Usually people write location right after the company though, and just the date on the right, but this is all right. Lead test engineer, work on site with Mexico R&D team, work remotely with interesting. Okay, so he worked with multiple teams across different time zones. In charge of leading testing team, 5 members. Okay, here we go. That's good. Numbers and like scale. I understand he's in charge of leading testing team. There's more team than on crypto jobs list. Develop an integration and regression tests using Python, Java, and JavaScript. Solid. Yeah, so I mean, I don't even have to read further. I understand that like just after the first, at the top, I understand there is like no bullshit. There is no like, I'm self-driven, whatever. No, I can tell. Like leading a team of 5, you're definitely going to be self-driven and high responsibility in all the other soft skills that some of the previous resumes were talking about. Like even in this case, like just me reading this, I can understand that you are that. Reading that will not tell me that you have all these experiences. The experience is more important. Where
I agree. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
that's my favorite one.
This is pretty good. Education. The only formatting a little bit off. Like I would make sure that this is like on a new page. Software engineer, full stack developer for a banking system migration project using JavaScript. Okay, this is good. Education. Blockchain engineer, nano degree. Okay, Udacity, master in business administration, management, finance. Engineer. Okay, cool. Times one liner where. What did he learn, etc. Certifications. Blockchain, 2020 Coursera. I like this. If there were like a link to the exact course, that would be nice. I like that the person is doing courses outside of like his formal education. That's pretty cool, impressive. Like, I don't even have patience for that. Like, this guy is doing it. Like, I would talk to this guy. We're too small to have a DevOps, but he's on my list. I would recommend him. Skills, front end, okay. But it's kind of interesting. Okay, here I would again. Here I'm leveling up the bar, right? He's good, but how can we make it better, right? Because like at this level, he maybe wants to work in some like Google, like or like some other company, or like I don't know, Infura or Alchemy, somewhere, something like this. Okay, 5 minutes. I'll give this guy more time. I'm sorry. How can make it like more like? It needs to be OCD, right? If he is a DevOps, why is he writing front end in the very beginning? You write more about DevOps, right? You want to be even deeper, more advanced. And then like front end, if nothing here in his background experience, he talks about front end. He talks about like how he managed a team of 5, worked across countries, across time zones, and how he pretty much it's all about DevOps, and like suddenly it starts with front end. I'm a bit confused. So I would just move DevOps at the top, maybe back end next, and like front end, just mention it. Like maybe I would specify, because like now I'm a little confused. Is he front end dev? It's a bit different, right? Like everything else is on point, like databases. If you're a DevOps, you better be well versed in databases. Does he mention anything about front end? UI automation testing using, okay, but it's not building front end. It's different. Just looking through the resume. Yeah, he's a DevOps guy. I mean, like the first lead test engineer, QA engineer. Or no, that's my impression. If Mr. Arturo is watching right now, this is like he should take this feedback as like this is what goes in the mind of someone who reads your resume, and how can you tweak your resume so that it gets the right impression or right perception. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Let's move on because we're getting some people
angry,
annoyed.
People annoyed.
Yeah.
Oh, we are reviewing resumes. How terrible is that? Maybe they are annoyed because their resume is not as good. All right.
Okay, actually, there's an interesting
question.
Thing. Yeah, well, it's not really a question, but this is some guy says, "I'm quite surprised you rate this CV with this much text a 7.8. Most people I know that do recruiting say they don't even look at this because it's so overwhelming." I don't necessarily agree. I do think maybe one.
What is overwhelming?
I don't know. I guess text.
No, that's what recruiters do. They read from the top and like understand if the person is skilled or not. There's nothing overwhelming about this. I mean, it's overwhelming to a person who is not a professional, who makes judgment based on pretty colors and graphic design. Like that's the problem. Like for example, that's the problem with the profile pictures. Profile pictures are there to like maybe impress or like seduce hiring managers who are new, or like some recruitment leaders, and you don't even know whether you want to be working in that job. You're trying to wing your way. What you want to be doing is you want to have hard facts. If you're not able to convince the person with text, like while applying for a job, you're not going to get a job, or you need to show something specifically, right? Like maybe if you're a graphic designer and you share me your portfolio, and I will see like, I think for graphic designers it's a bit different. I think that's probably the only area that I can think of. Like, show me your portfolio. I almost do not care about what you write in your resume, where you studied. I want to see a sense of style. I want to see like how your portfolio evolved, what was the brief, and how did you came up with certain design, right? That's what I want to see with graphic designers. Almost every other profession, career direction is about like, just share me the facts, communicate to me. It's all about communication, right? That's the output. That's a big part of any job, even for designers as well. But they're for them, it's more about visual communication, right?
Yeah, and look at the text. It's really specific. In charge of leading a DevOps team of 5 members. Like, there's nothing too crazy about that, right? You can read it and just keep moving on and keep seeing what this guy is saying.
It's consistent. It's like the text is, aligned correctly, spacing, same font, same, header is bold and underline, header is bold and underline. It's consistency. This guy is structured. He can get stuff done. He's not like all over the place. Like, I want to work with this guy. He's like he's execution machine. If I'll hire him, I know that maybe he's like, I don't know him as a professional, whether he's going to be a good fit for the role specifically, but I know he'll be consistent. I know if I'll hire him, I know what to expect.
Yeah. Okay. So, last question before we go to the, I think it's almost. No reference to ATS yet. Also, can we move on? 5 minutes seems a bit too much for each curriculum. I don't know what.
Sorry, ATS means. ATS means applicant tracking system. Where's that question coming from? Where is it?
In Discord.
Discord. No reference to it. I would like you to give your thought on ATS versus direct contact in regards to the CV adjustment. So I think maybe what people are asking about here is, like, on TikTok they would hear all this advice, or on like Instagram somewhere they'll hear this advice that ATS only looks for specific keywords in the resume, and that's partially true. But I think in a lot of companies if you're like applying for in tech and in crypto overall, you're going to be probably competing against 100 other applicants, right? It's not 1,000 applicants. So recruiters still read resumes, but much faster. They read your cover letter. They read your answers to the to your interview screening questions. They do not do anything else. And it's pretty fast. And you don't optimize your resume for ATS. Of course, you want to make sure that it's not just an image; it's actual text in your PDF. But you're optimizing for human beings, and this is what you want to have. There you go. Right, next one. People are complaining. More questions?
Yeah. No, maybe next time we can do a cover letter review, but we'll see. Let's go for the last one, I guess.
There was some question about, sorry not to intend to spam, please answer this one. If you're a newcomer in the space and don't have too much experience here, is it okay to put your previous work experience that is not relevant to IT or Web3 just to show that you have done something? Yes, you want to do that. You want to show your previous experience, but you also want to write like a sentence that why you're passionate about crypto and Web3. You want, ideally, if you don't have any experience in crypto Web3, write an article with your thoughts. What are you passionate about? Make an overview, write a thread on Twitter. And that's going to be your kind of resume 101, pretty much. All right. And here what I wanted to say, like, one thing to improve is, again, like, to move away front end and move away education should be on the next page, because it's like it's broken. And here I can forgive that it's 2 pages. I think it's fine that it's 2 pages because it's good content. Next. All right, let's zoom in. Okay, 5 minutes. All right, let's go. Michael, technical summary. Not just summary, technical summary. An IT professional seeking customer desktop support position that can utilize 5 years of computer user support using allied health, support and telecommunication software services. Also, I'm a venture into blockchain developer space and would love to help you on your crypto journey. I would say this is the best intro I've read so far. Like, okay, maybe in this case there is no intro with this guy with the previous that we rated right now, but those who had intros, this is the best. It clearly says who this person is, what they've done in the past in one sentence, how many years of experience, and what are they looking for. Perfect. This is the best. I'm not sure what's with the font. I'm not sure if it was this the way you saw it on your computer. Was it broken? Because ouch. I think that's the only problem here. But maybe something was wrong with the export to PDF, because like I can see F to F together. Then there is a space. It's interletter spacing is like is just jumping all over the place, so it's hard to read. But anyway, let's survive through this professional experience. Alabama blockchain coalition, whatever this is. Undefined blockchain position. What does that mean? Metro Birmingham area, May present. A new coalition of individuals that will help a lot of animals educating in blockchain technology. I will love Discord Alabama. So here, instead of linking this thing, I would rather have like a Discord link directly, or like both. Educating blockchain technology, learning and developing blockchain applications in various languages. Myself for a future blockchain position. Yeah, that's good. I think this guy is a native speaker, but a little bit probably in US somewhere. What was at the top? Was it a okay, I think that's their contact information. Anyway, yeah, I think like he's doing some work. Coffee, conventions and computers, IT consultant. A new entrepreneurial venture involving conversations around coffee and computers. Interesting. It was founded on the platform in Nextdoor 2017. Clients discussing needs, personal networks, providing holistic approach. So there is, I think, not sure what's the. There are no numbers. I think that's what comes to my mind. Like it's not very specific enough, but it's not bad. I can kind of understand what the person was doing. A little bit. I wish there was more specific examples. I like that it's structured kind of well. There should be horizontal space between the experiences. Now it's kind of like all jammed together. Wasn't very easy to understand right away what of these like 1, 2, 3 data points is what, because like this is, I guess, the name of the company organization. This is his role, and this is the location. But it all looks kind of like the same. So I'm not sure where to look at right now. But okay, Randstad USA. Randstad, I think, is a recruitment company for desktop support technician, for working with users to diagnose, repair issues, including working with hardware, software, and connectivity. So I have a feeling this person haven't worked remotely, which is okay. Okay-ish. Okay, yeah, I think it's okay. But he has a lot of experience working in person. Actually, which is actually pretty good, because a lot of especially for younger talent, what I'm noticing is that it's a good sign if someone worked in an office, especially in the first position. I think I want to make another like whole video about it, like that you do want to be have some experience right away, like right out of college, working with other people in person, because it gets your additional social skills and you learn a lot by working with someone in person. Okay, we have very little time left. Professional skill. Wow, it's a little bit long. Education at the very bottom. It's kind of interesting to have education at the very bottom. Usually you have like a bunch of skills at the bottom, but I guess it's not bad. It's actually his other skills and experience are more important. What is this? Oh, this is still experiences. Technical support. So he did a lot of technical support. Cool. Not bad. I would actually rate this professional skill set. 1 second. I'm thinking how much to rate this. The resume itself, I would rate probably maybe 7 or 8, maybe even 9. Maybe not 9, 7 or 8. I think like the fact that the text is all over the place. It sounds like a technical glitch, or maybe he was not aware. Maybe he was doing it on a PC or something. But other than that, structure is good. Technical summary, I would rename it into just summary. I wonder if it's possible to squeeze it together into just one page. Maybe that would be possible. And yeah, I think like a lot of this information could be just like one line. But yeah, what would you say, Chang? What do you think?
Yeah, I mostly would was annoyed with the text because it feels too
it's jumping.
Crowded, I guess. Yeah, he was in the Navy. That's interesting.
Where was it? Is it somewhere?
Down at the bottom. Yeah,
it
says US Navy.
Right. Yeah, I guess it's people who went to army, they are very structured, which is good, and like a lot of companies like to hire. Like one big part about work is that you want to be structured. Even if you're creative, you want to be structured about your creativity, right? Like you want to have a discipline, you want to be like methodical, you want to have like method to your madness, even if you're like a creative artist. Even the best creative artists, they're the best because they have a method to their madness, right? To the creativity. They're systematic about their creativity, right? You want to be systematic, you want to have some structure to you, right? And like structure comes from discipline, from imposing that structure on yourself, on your work, on trying to systematize what you're doing, have a better understanding what you're doing. Anyway, okay, are we done? This is all?
Yep, yes, sir. We are done.
We are done. I think thanks so much for going with us through all these resumes. Hope this was useful. Shall we stay around a bit longer and answer questions?
Sure, why not? Just like a friendly comment. Great work, guys. Learned a lot of tips. Thank you for being here. Thanks a lot for your effort and support, guys. Thank you for sticking around. I think for next edition, what I'm thinking is to give like 20 minutes for people to just submit. And then we evaluate, because a lot of people were like annoyed and, like, oh, I want my resume,
Well,
so
I think so just to comment on this, I don't think we'll be accepting resumes during the show. I don't think that will happen. I think there is no reason for us to do that. Like what we'll be doing is basically getting people to submit in advance, and then we'll prepare. We'll look through the list of resumes and we'll try to look for a range. Otherwise, if we're going to be accepting it last minute, it's like it's not good for anyone. It's like it's extra stress for us. We need to review. We need to see whether it's good or not. It's too much pressure that we and it also means that the person who just showed up in a stream, we're not giving any priority to people who may be like being a huge loyal to us and been supporting us for a long time. And here suddenly there's some dude who randomly showed up and we'll accept him their resume. But the most important part is that we need some time to download them, process them, and not rush about it. And over time, we're probably gonna be even more deliberate about selecting the right examples so that people can learn. Right? I feel like in my experience, I've seen resumes that are way better than what we discussed today, and I think maybe in the future we'll either have a better cadence where we have a kind of good resume, bad resume, good resume, bad resume, instead of increasing from bad to good, because I feel like a lot of people, when they see really bad resume maybe in the beginning of the stream, they would be like, oh, this stream is bad, I want to drop off, right? So I think we need to collect that feedback and understand if we should be doing good resumes in the beginning, or should it be a mix. So I would really appreciate if everyone just commented under the video. I think it's gonna stay on YouTube and on, I think, all other platforms. So I think that would definitely be useful. What can we improve about the show so it's easier to watch, it's more educational, right? But I don't think we'll be receiving it in real time.
Yeah, we'll be doing a lot of improvements. I mean, it's been gradually improved. This time we had more resumes, we had more viewers, different platforms, so it's gonna get better over time. We do have another question. Is it suggested to add on-site or remote along with organization details?
I think it's useful. I would recommend mentioning whether it was remote or on-site. Definitely, both experiences, they have different experiences. They have different value. If you worked for some company, or you worked your whole career completely remotely, I would actually be, that's my opinion. Maybe someone for some specific role, it's an exception. Every case is different. But if someone worked their whole life remotely, for certain roles, I would not like that. I would want someone who worked in office with someone else in the past. And of course, like online, there is just like all these like opinions, like, oh, on site is terrible, it's BS, like, you should be working remotely. No, that's not true. For certain organizations, you want to be working together in an office with great people. Like if you don't want to work from the office with the team, you're probably working in the wrong company or like with the wrong people. You want to be working in a company with people that are so cool. You want to like travel 2 hours because you want to work with those people. Yeah, because you want to be in an office with those cool, amazing brains from whom you're learning a lot. Like in the beginning of my career, I was like, I had to go, like, I think like I had to spend like 2 hours to get to work and then back from work. But like the people in the office were like amazing. I would just like learn so much without even realizing, just by being next to my like CTO in the company that I used to work for, or like business leaders in that company. You just like absorb information. You're not even aware that you're absorbing it, and only later on you realize like, oh, turns out that people who were working remotely all their life, they don't have that like business acumen, or they do not have that even technical skills. I worked with some, for example, with developers. I worked with a range of people who like self-taught, and they're kind of okay, they can get something done, but they always been, for example, working remotely or freelance, and you can just see that they're kind of like nuances lacking. They do not know exactly the flow, how to work in a team. They do not know the latest tools. They do not know the quality. So they're like not really compatible with working in a high functioning team, right? So you want to have both of those experiences. And if you can portray it on your resume, that is definitely going to work for your advantage. Yes. So, but those people who always work in the office and never had a remote position, for a remote company, that would be like a little bit of a risk. Will this person be able to perform well by themselves in a completely remote environment? Will they be working from home? Have they worked from home in the past? Do they know how to structure, how to be disciplined? So do mention that on your resume.
Double-edged sword.
No, it's not double-edged sword. I think a combination of two experiences is important. Like I would highly recommend everyone to work with someone in an office, especially in the beginning of their career, to like go to some company where you're working from an office. And ideally that should be like a really exceptional team. Like in the beginning of your career, work not for money but for experience, and then later in your career you'll be getting the money because you're going to be sharing your experience that you learned from some other mentors, from some other more experienced people.
Yeah, 100% true, actually. We have given you guys some rising talent roles on Discord for being here, so thank you so much for thank you so much for being around.
Shall I also say some closing remarks? It's been like 2 hours of us streaming, so it's really appreciate everyone who how do I scale this up? Really appreciate everyone who joined today. Everyone appreciate who joined today. We're gonna be doing this, I suppose, monthly, maybe bi-weekly, depending on the outcomes of today's stream. We'll see how many people actually viewed the stream. Would really like your comments. What can we improve? And we'll send the link how to submit the resumes. Now you can do it on the website, cryptojobslist.com/resume-review, right? Do not send it to our emails. That will not be checked. Send it through the website. And then we'll be selecting the resumes that we think are the most educational, combination of really good ones and pretty bad ones. Make sure to redact the information that you find like too sensitive. But we'll still do our best to like remove things that we find, too personal, too private, like your contact data. But yeah, be aware that it's going to be recorded, streamed. And again, it's not a guarantee we will review your resume, but the harder you try, and probably the more likely we will one day review yours as well. Okay, shall we on this high note? Thank you once again to everyone who asked questions. Some very good questions out there. Thank you, Chong, for initiating this and helping organize this. We'll be improving our, I guess, performance and everything and setup. So give us comments. Only with comments we'll be able to do a better job and make it more entertaining. So just let us know what we can improve.
Yep. Thank you guys for showing up. You guys can suggest absolutely any type of feedback here on the Discord or in any other socials. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube and TikTok and all those places, because we still give some advice there as well time to time. So yeah, thank you guys for being around.
Yeah, and another closing thought. I'm seeing someone messaging like, do not DM us on Discord. Do not DM us like with your resumes. Just use the we will not check them. We get too many DMs. We don't have time to respond to everyone. And usually the information that we give is like much better in this format. That's why we're doing the streams. That's why we're doing the all these initiatives, right? Because one-on-one is going to take forever, but in a team we'll be able to do it right. I'm sending. Whoop! How do I do this? Paste. Okay, here we go. All right. Thanks so much once again. I'm going to be closing this off.
Thank you, Roman, for hosting and reviewing the resumes.
Thank you, Chong, for staying up late and helping with the review. This was amazing. Great initiative. We're doing well. Okie dokie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, goodbye. Thanks for being around.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.